Alright guys, welcome to this video. I just quickly want to talk about the changes that have come to the Druid with the new data mined information for the patch of Diablo 4 that the SummerSlam event will be played on. I'm of course going to play Druid because chunky boys are the best. Now originally I was going to play Landslide because this skill was busted. They have, however, nerfed it into the ground, so it's still usable, it's not bad. Late game, it's going to be incredible, but for early game leveling, I'd stay well away from Landslide. You need legendaries to stack up the damage on this skill. However, Lightning Storm is looking quite promising. They buffed it by quite a bit. It's an easy to use skill with a lot of AoE clear, and it works really well together with something like Vine Creeper that can lock up a bunch of enemies. So this is what I'm going to be using for my leveling. Now, if I jump into the build here, I'm using this build guide, or build planner rather, which is not updated yet, just because I hate the look of this one. But I will be telling you what the current numbers are and what they look like. First of all, for primary skill, I want Storm Strike. I'm playing on hardcore, so the 25 damage reduction is a must, pretty much. I know all the other skills were buffed, and there is an argument to be made for grabbing something like Maul to start stacking Fortify, which could potentially be pretty powerful. However, I'm just going to stay with the flat damage reduction of Storm Strike. I'm then going to grab the first rune, not interested in the first rune at all, but we need it, so we can go down here and grab Lightning Storm. I'm then just going to pop 5 points into Lightning Storm, and then rush down to my defensive skills, grab Earthen Bulwark, and then plot 1 point into Enhanced Earthen Bulwark. Earthen Bulwark, of course, just gives us a big shield, 45% of our maximum life, and the Enhanced Earthen Bulwark gives us a way to have Unstoppable so that we can break out of CC and survive certain situations. Now, at this point, I'm probably going to go up and grab Fierce Storm Strike. This passive is really powerful, actually. 50% chance to apply Vulnerable is such a high chance. And Vulnerable, of course, just increases our damage by 20% for the enemies that are affected by the status effect. So it's a really good and consistent way to apply Vulnerable, and it's almost too good to skip. Next thing, I'm not sure what level we'll be at this point. If you're level 12, just go straight down here, grab Vine Creeper. Now, there's a bit of a weird situation going on where you can sort of decide for yourself which of the companion skills you want to use. They've all been buffed by 2 or 3 times. Ravens are really powerful. The base damage goes all the way up to 224%. However, it'll be less noticeable one-shots than Werewolf and Vine Creeper, simply because the skill here is it deals its damage over 5 seconds. However, this means that the uptime is pretty damn high. Vine Creeper, of course, always been a really good druid skill, and now the poison damage goes up to like, I believe it's like 170%. Let's just check here. Yes, poison creeper goes up to 126% damage over 2 seconds, which is insane. That's a really high base number. We then grab enhanced vine creeper and the rune up here for 20% critical strike chance. The reason we do this is because we're also plopping a point into Blood Howl, and then we're doing the dungeon in the first zone, which allows us to get Night Howler's aspect. This just makes it so that when you use Night Howler, you gain crit chance, and so does your companions. So the crit chance from here, and the crit chance from here, and the crit chance from the Ravens, which is 5%, gives you about 19.2% crit chance, which is pretty much just 20. And that's a really good base crit chance to have at level 20. So you'll be doing some pretty significant crits. And of course, Lightning Storm procs, like the damage tick is quite quick compared to something like Pulverize. So you will have quite a lot of crits coming in. Finally, you can argue with yourself what you want to choose. I'm just going to go with Debilitating Roar because the 50% here is wrong. They buffed it to 70. So Debilitating Roar is just going to do so all enemies are basically wet noodles that can't touch you. And that's the 21 points we get. We of course get 20 levels, and then we get the last point from the Renown in the Zone. So you'll have to complete that to grab the final skill here in Debilitating Roar. And that's pretty much the build I'm going to go with. Of course, level 20 we don't have much wiggle room to work with. However, this build is really solid, some really good crits coming in, some really good AoE clear. It's going to be so quick to get to level 20. Once you're level 20, however, hopefully you have a bunch of obols stacked up. I'm going to go directly to the Purveyor of Curiosities, or whatever his name is, and roll those obols. And on the Druid, you always want to roll on offhands, especially in a situation like the SummerSlam, because if you happen to get a legendary, they only cost 40 obols each, and if you do get a legendary, it's a 100% chance that it's an offensive power that you can then use, make a build around it, and kill a Shala. Now, I hope this gave you some idea of what you can do to level up quickly on the Druid by not relying on Landslide, which I think a lot of people were planning, and hopefully it helped out. Now, best of luck in the upcoming SummerSlam event, and don't die in hardcore, which I probably will at some point.